guys. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing all right. It's raining today, and I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. Yeah, it's gonna rain all day. It's so weird. It's been like really nice for about a week, and then it rains and it cools down for a couple days, and then it gets hot again. And anyways, it's super weird. It's the weirdest summer we've had in a long time. Anyway, so I don't know if these are actually minis. They're small, but I don't know if they're not as mini as a lot of my minis are. They're midi minis, maybe. um, all right, so since it is my birthday month, I decided to just go all out and really put some heart and soul into these journals and have some fun with them. So I did not hold back as far as the work that I put into them. And sometimes I do that when I'm doing those monthly minis because I have to be careful about how much time I put in and that kind of thing. And so that I can still offer them at a reasonable price. And yeah, so speaking of that, I just want to tell you guys, I don't know if a lot of you know this, people who have watched my live streams and stuff like that. You guys already know this, but this is what I do like full time, like I don't have another job or anything. And sometimes I get a lot of comments about like, people say, I don't know how you do it. You make so many journals at one time and blah blah blah. Not that it's blah blah blah, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I get it. Like I do. I make a lot of journals at one time, and I've explained this before, but in case you've not heard my reasoning, um it's just how I am more creative. I just it's stifling to my creativity to work on one item. It's freeing, and it just my mind is able to just kind of be open and free when I'm working on a lot of the same kind of thing, like making journals this way allows me to be more creative, and that's really the truth. um there's a bunch of reasons, but that to me is the biggest reason, because working on a quantity of something has always been motivating to me, even if it's just a tedious little task, like alphabetizing something. If when I was a kid, I worked for a lady who had a used bookstore down the street from us, and she had this whole room full of National Geographic magazines, and none of them were in order or anything. They were just plopped in there. Literally, it was an entire room full, and I was only in like third grade. And I'm telling you, I organized that whole entire room full of National Geographics. It took me about a week. And I mean, I couldn't wait to get back there every day after school to work on alphabetizing and organizing those. Not alphabetizing, but putting them into the volumes of the years and stuff. Anyways, it's just my personality. It's just the way I am. So, and I'm not justifying. I just want you guys to understand that, this just how I work. It's just, it helps my process. So, but also I wanted you to know, in case you didn't, that, I don't have a whole lot of other responsibilities. I don't have a bunch of little kids I have to take care of anymore. I mean, I share a home with my mom. I have the whole like downstairs of our big giant house, and I have grown kids. I don't have a full-time job anymore. This is what I do. And so, if you work on journals and you make journals and you love making junk journals, um, you know, please don't feel like, you know, you should be making 20 journals at one time, because honestly, it's not very realistic. If you have a job and you have a family and you have a lot of other stuff going on, you know, anyway, I just kind of wanted to tell you guys that in case you didn't know. So yeah, so this is what I do, and I fell into it, and it's just something that I love doing, and I love paper, and I love fabric, and I love every single aspect of making these little journals and making big journals. And yeah, so that it's just my passion, and so I'm just really passionate about it. And that's why I think I'm able to just put my heart and soul and every ounce of my being into making these. So, and I'm really, really happy that you guys like them and that you have enabled me in doing this, because otherwise I would be sitting at a call center, you know, listening to people complaining and whining and crying and yelling and screaming at me all day. And now I just get to do my own thing. And so thank you. And that being said, stick around to the end of the video, because I want to talk to you guys about something special. Okay, so let's look at these now. Okay, I did 24 of them, and I'm going to justify now, but a lot of the reason that I did 24 is because I happen to have had, I think it was 8 of these kind of like, they're like medical file folders, you know, with the real heavy cover, and then it has that inside page that is this color. Okay. So these aren't the hanging file folders. These are those other, you know, weird ones. And I think the covers on these were like a dark green. No, what are they? I've cut them in half because I want to make writing boards with these, I think. But these were the covers. Okay. So these are like medical file folders, and they have the little metal paper holder thing. Anyway, so there was 3 of these in each one. So this is, you know, this was almost the size of a full one. And then I have like an offcut, and I made a bunch of little tags out of those. So these are trifolds, and I went around and around about how I was going to put these together. I really like doing a trifold because it just gives you a little bit of extra space to do whatever you want. And I think it just makes them more versatile. So like I said, I sort of went all out on these, and I just, you know, I wasn't thinking about how much time. Well, I was thinking about it, because I'll tell you how many hours I put into making these when I get done. But and why it works for me to make multiples when you think about the number of hours that I put in. So anyway, okay, so let me kind of move some of these out of the way, and I'll go through more than just one of these so that you guys get a really good idea of, you know, what they are and what's going on with them. Okay. But I'll do a flip through of, you know, one for sure. And we'll probably flip through a couple actually. So on the front cover, I have these little tiny paper bags that, one second. So these little guys, and they're actually, you know, like little grocery bags. Okay. And I've had them for a long time and haven't ever done anything with them. And so, you know, so I just did some collaging. I cut the bottom of the bag off, and then I just did some collaging on the front, and then I just glued the bag onto the front cover. Okay. So I went back and forth about whether or not I was going to do some kind of a flap on this to close this bag. And I decided that I wasn't going to do it because I had already done the collaging and I didn't want to cover it up. And so I just did an elastic closure that will hold that bag closed. Okay. So if you get one of these journals, when you're closing it, try to pull the elastic up from the bottom, because pulling it from the top, you may have a tendency to actually catch the bag with the elastic. So Um, if you want to, you could actually glue this down, and that would make it a little bit less likely to get torn or whatever. But I just loved having the gusset in there, so you could actually really kind of pack a bunch of stuff in there if you wanted to. You could even put like pens or pencils and stuff in there if you wanted to. I thought, gosh, you could even put like one of those little sets of watercolors or something. So, and use this like as an art journal. Anyway, so I just wanted you to have some extra storage space. And so I just put a real simple tag in the front of these. I used this was from a file folder, it was just some flour sack fabric. And most of them have something like that. Some of them I put an alteration tag and like a repair tag in there. So yeah, so I just did, and this is kind of cool on these. I wanted to do like a Midori style elastic band, okay, to hold the book together or to hold the journal in. But when you do an eyelet on a file folder like this, doing it right on the spine, if you don't, well, I've done it before and it's awkward. You either have to put the eyelet kind of on the front or on the back. And I really wanted it right on the spine. So what I did was about a 1/4 inch spine on these. So you can see that, it actually is, whoa, sorry about that, guys. It actually is, you know, there's a spine on there. Okay. And so there's not that issue. And I'm not concerned about the eyelets tearing the cover or anything like that. So this is some fabric that I got from a customer and some happy mail for my birthday. And it did make me super, super happy. And it's probably my favorite piece of fabric that was in the box. She sent me a whole bunch. So it made me super, super happy. Anyways, I love that. So there's just fabric on the spine. And then this flap was actually, still attached. I cut it off and then I actually did a fabric hinge on there to give it a little bit more flexibility and strength. Okay. I was going to just put fabric, just bend, fold it and then just reinforce it with fabric. But I decided that I wanted to actually add a little bit of a gap there of fabric because that just makes it a little bit more flexible and gives it some extra give so that it would kind of wrap around. Like if you wanted to, use this in between pages and stuff, you'll have a little bit of extra space there so that it can actually wrap around the pages. Okay. So, I mean, you could even put it like all the way to the front if you wanted to, and that closes your book all the way up, Okay. So that's the cover. And I did a belly band here, because I wanted to add a writing board in each journal. Now I didn't do much as far as collaging on these on the front or the back because I wanted you to be able to use this either direction. Okay. Like if you're right-handed or left-handed. So if you're left-handed, you may want it on this side. If you're right-handed, you may want it on that side. I don't know. Just because I did do the tab and then just a little charm on each one. So this is I did do book page collage behind the acetate that I printed on. So there's acetate on this side and then it's just craft paper on the back. Okay. All right, so that's that. And then I try to be really thoughtful about where I put pockets when I do something like this because, I try to make sure that, nothing is going to get awkward if it gets full. So like if you were to add a bunch more stuff in this pocket, you could still add a lot more in there, but I didn't want, so I placed the pocket open on this side so that when you close this, it's not going to catch and stuff. Like if I had it opening on this side, it would be kind of awkward for you to close the book up. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's just thinking out loud. Okay. So explained that and I explained the cover. So then on the inside cover of each one, you're going to have some collaging and stuff on the pocket here. It's like a vertical pocket. Um, I put one of these double-sided tags that I made on my last video. So you got one of those in each journal, and then wherever there was like a little pocket or a little tuck spot, I tried to take advantage of that, okay, with some vintage fabric scraps and stuff up on the top, okay? So you get one of those, and then, you know, just bird books and flower books and things like that. Each book, I have this box. This is kind of like a shoebox size box that I just have tons of things like this in it. Okay, so just, you know, different little things that I can fill journals with. And so, you know, that's sort of like the last thing I do is I just kind of stuff the journals, I call it. And so as I'm going through these, and I'll tell you the things that are going to be in each journal, but all the other stuff is going to be sort of by chance. But I try to, you know, show you what's in each one, in the pictures in each listing. So, okay. So I got this notebook at a thrift store. I just thought it was kind of cool because it's sort of like distressed paper. It's kind of like crackled, looks crackled, and just simple flower kind of motif. And these are some avocado dyed envelopes. Each journal has at least one of these, and I did like just a little, some kind of little funny stamping on them or something, and then just stuck a couple of little tickets or tags inside of them. And I used a whole bunch of my new paper clips in these. I love these paper clips. So I got a couple boxes of these little like teardrop shaped paper clips. And so I used, I tried to use as many as I could. Anyway, and then some avocado dyed paper, obviously some flower pages, just some cream color cards or cream color copy paper, different types of ledger paper. Like it's vintage paper, but it's not like a old vintage ledger, you know. I forget what you call that, tablature pad. Some grid paper. So this is the bottom of the, I talked about this in that video where I was doing the tutorial on the double-sided pocket. So this is actually the bottom of that envelope, okay, that I cut off. So I used a policy envelope, so the envelope was about this long, and so I just cut off a section of it to make the tag, and so I just wrapped the flap around the page, stitched it on, and then, you know, so you could actually journal in the back of this or whatever. And I guess you could probably insert something that direction too if you wanted to. I just put a couple of playing cards in here because they fit perfect. Okay. And what else? Some onion skin paper, really thin, vintage onion skin. This is just some drawing paper. It's kind of a, you know, like a kid's drawing pad, but I like the texture of the paper. And then I picked up a whole bunch of this paper. This is like what was it? What did it say? Engineering paper or something, like, you know, for like technical drawings and stuff. Oh my gosh, I love this paper. I literally got about 50 pads of this paper, and I love it. Anyway, this is just some stationery. It's like letterhead type stationery. It's really nice cotton paper. And then some more. This is like what you would write music on. Composition paper, I think they call it. And this is a really, really old, very small, like desk size atlas that I have. And gosh, it's just beautiful. The paper is super, super soft, and you can see it's kind of aged around on the edges, but it's still pretty sturdy. It's nice. It's kind of heavy paper, so it's beautiful. Oh, and then I actually got Tracie Fox's, it's like one of her, actually a couple of her kits, the botanical images. Because I've been trying to tear out little pictures out of dictionaries, like illustrated dictionaries, so I could get the little drawings of flowers and stuff. And I was talking to her about that and telling her that I was looking for those. And she's like, well, you need that kit. So anyway, so I got this kit. And anyway, so there's a bunch of different just black like line drawing images and stuff in it, but it's really cool because it's real versatile. And depending on what you print it on, I think it's, it's useful. So anyways, I used a lot of those images and other things, but the leftover images, I just cut them into little tags and stuck them in here. And then I got a whole pack of this, just different color, you know, 3-hole punch paper, different colors. So this is the Know Your Beetles book. Sorry, if you don't like bugs, you can easily tear this page out, seriously. If you really don't like bugs. And if you want me to tear out the bug pages, just message me and I'm happy to do that, okay? Some more avocado skin, or some more avocado dyed paper. This is, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. Since these are my birthday month journals, I'm sharing some of this paper with you guys. But this is actually from a little ledger. I bought this paper on eBay because I just fell in love with it. But it's actually like onion skin ledger paper. It's super cool. Some more City of Pullman paper, and I have a whole ream of it, so I'll be using it in all my journals for quite a while until it's gone. Just some, flower images. Oh, and a lot of these, I put a vintage postcard, a vintage flower postcard. I've been hoarding these. I have like a little stack of them, and I've been hoarding them thinking I was going to do something like fussy cut them or something, but I haven't done it because I can't bring myself to do it. So I just, for the most part, a lot of these have one of those in it. If they don't have a vintage postcard with flowers, then they have one of the collage tags or something in the center. I try to put something kind of special on the inside pockets, the center pockets. Okay. It's another one of those images from that botanical kit of Tracie's. And then speaking of Miss Tracie, she has that clock kit. And so I wanted to use these little clock images. They're super cool. She's got some that have like little maps and stuff on the face of the clock, and you can't really see it very well unless you print it on like white or cream color paper with, in color. But they're just beautiful. I don't know where she gets this stuff or where she comes up with this stuff, but the faces of some of these clocks are just gorgeous. Anyways, so it's a kit that she has. It's just all clocks. Anyway, so I printed them out real tiny. I think I did like 4 to a page, and punched these out with a 1-inch punch. And I just made like a little charm for the center. And I put I did a, what do you call that thing? Not an eyelet, but, the other thing, in through the center, and then did a couple layers of heavy craft paper. So this is pretty sturdy. And then I did a little, just very simple little paper clip charm on each one. See, just a little paper clip charm with some old vintage mini dictionary paper wrapped around it. Okay, I've spent enough time on this pocket now. And I'll put links in the description to those kits of Tracie's too, by the way. Yeah, I love that paper. It's so cool. I think I got 100 sheets, so I shared 24 pages. So the rest of it I'm hoarding forever. So this is just a little tag that I made with, like I said, from the offcut of the file folder. Just, I try to repurpose as much as I can. So some of it's kind of wrinkled or whatever, like it's gotten bent at some point. Um, but that's okay. And so the reinforcement sticker, label, whatever you call it, reinforcer, is actually a vintage Denison reinforcement. Um, yeah, and those are fun because you have to wet them to get them to stick. So I did it with a baby wipe. I just like wiped that and then stuck them on, and that worked pretty good. And then I got this set of number stamps, these old vintage number stamps. They are super cool. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted some pictures of them, but I'm just digging them big time. Anyways, and they were real hard rubber, like they've gotten pretty hard over the years, but I soaked them for about 24 hours in glycerin. Um, just put glycerin on a paper towel on a cookie sheet, and then I just set the stamps on top of that with a little bit of water too, and soaked them for a little while, and it really softened the rubber quite a bit. So just FYI, glycerin, if you get some of those like really old vintage stamps, sometimes the rubber's gotten hard. So try that. And sometimes it takes a few days of soaking in the glycerin to actually, get it to work. And another thing I saw online was if you don't have glycerin, which you can get at a pharmacy, by the way, it's not super cheap, but glycerin has lots and lots of different uses. But if you can't get glycerin, or you don't want to buy glycerin, get some glycerin soap. Like any clear soap that you find is generally going to be a glycerin soap. So if you can't get liquid glycerin, um, some glycerin soap and shred it with a cheese grater, and then just dissolve it in water and kind of like make your own glycerin. So just a little tip there. Anyways, so then just the reverse of, what we already saw. So a couple little tags there. Oh, and that's the other, these are, see, I save everything. I save all the little scraps. So anyways, onion skin, bird paper, the reverse. Okay. And then there's your writing board, and it just slides in this little belly band. This is some ledger paper that this is from a French bakery, and I'm getting lessons in Photoshop. So eventually I will be able to just make, digital stuff available of things that I scan, like ephemera and things like that. So pretty soon I think I'll be able to do it on my own. But be patient. Anyways, it's really cool ledger that actually came from a French bakery. So it's pretty cool. But this is a copy. It's not the original. And then one of those tags that I made with the acetate. And then, just this is from another file folder. Just really cool old paper, Okay, so there's that one. And this is, what number is this? This is number 16, okay? So let's look at a different one. And I'll so this one is number 3. Oh, that's funny. So, of course, I grabbed a different one, but it has the same fabric on the cover. Hold on. All right, let's do this one. So this one has some old quilt top fabric on it. This is number 2. Okay, so just different collaging on the front. Another one of those tags made with the file folder. Some collaging on that pocket on the inside. And oh, this is the one that I think I showed when I did the video of the little, I don't have my glasses on, so I cannot even see. Hold on. I can't even see to open that little pocket. Just a minute. Sorry, this video is taking forever, you guys. And I know if I make the tab, make the opening on just one side, it's a lot easier to open. but I wanted it to be available from both sides of the tag. So that's why I did that. Anyways, because I know somebody will say, you know, you're only supposed to punch that on one side. Yeah, I know. Anyways, so yeah, so that little tag. And see the vintage fabric. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. I just love it. And you know, I don't know. I just got to start looking for old clothes in thrift stores or something, and bringing it home and cutting it up, because I just love all of that, like super old, just like threadbare fabric, you know. Anyway, so this is the center of this one. See, because it's just different when it's old, you know. It's like it's softer. It's been washed a million times and all that. It always smells good. Well, usually it smells good. This stuff smells good. Yeah, so, you know, all of the journals pretty much have the same papers in them. And, you know, I tried to use at least one or two of these little tags that I stamped on with those numbers. This is the writing board for this one. I'm into making those lately. And it's a great way to use book pages that are kind of brittle and stuff. Just glue them onto something firm and then stitch around them and call it a writing board, you know? Stick a tag on it or a tab on it, some charms, and you're good to go. Yeah, so it is better to close those from the bottom. Okay, so this is number, what I say, number 2. And then this one is number 3. So I tried not to do any more than 2 or 3 with the same fabric on the spines, because I was trying to hoard the fabric too. So this is number 3. I'm not going to go through all of these, you guys. There's way too many. But you'll see pictures on the listings. And so there's some with butterflies. I used a lot of field guide images on these collages. And then I did use some vintage Denison labels and then some of Tracie's labels that I've been using. She has just like a whole set of just labels in her shop. Some of those little collage tickets. Excuse my computer talking to me. So this is number 24. This one is number 20. Some bird's eggs and such. You'll see the insides of these in the listings, guys. So just take a look at the pictures. And I try to do the pictures all kind of the same way, where like I do the front, the side, this, center, you know, for each listing. Just so I make sure that they're pretty consistent. Anyways, this is number 21. And number 23. The feel or the quilt top on the spine. Some more quilt top on the spine. I love quilt top. I just love vintage quilt top. This is number 22. And just tons of them, you guys. Anyways, this is number 17. But they're all different, you know. I mean, this bag is different. The spines are all different. So this is number 19 and number 18. Okay. So, and so on and so forth. I feel awkward going through every single one of these, but I'm just going to pile them up here. I love this one with the bee. Okay, so I'm going to do a giveaway. I have I have reached a plateau, or not, I don't know if it's a plateau, but I've reached a milestone, 5,000 subscribers, and I'm super, super like blown away by it. You know, I really am. Um, I remember when I was just like trying to get to 100, you know, so I could live stream or whatever. And so thank you guys. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to my channel and shows their love and your appreciation and support and all of that. It really does mean a lot to me. So I am going to try to do a giveaway. Um, not sure what I'm gonna give, but keep your eyes open. I want to say I'm not going to mention giveaway in the title of any of my upcoming videos. So I'm just giving you a heads up that if I'm going to, when I do it, it will be just verbally in my video. Okay. So at some point in one of my upcoming videos, so in the next couple of videos, I will figure out how I'm going to do the giveaway and what I'm going to give, and I will show that in the video. So I have altogether 96 hours is what I put into making these journals. Okay. And that's actually a little bit conservative, I think. I think it's actually more than that because some of this stuff I actually made before I started making the journals. Okay. So just saying, that's the time that went into making them. 96 hours. So that's about 2 weeks worth of work if you're working an 8-hour day, right? But I don't work 8-hour days. I usually work 12 to 16-hour days. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just saying. So, if you say, gosh, you make 24 journals in the time that it takes me to make one, well, you're probably working a full-time job and taking care of a family and doing a whole bunch of other stuff too. This is my life. This is what I do all the time. So anyways, but it's what I love and this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do. So that's what's important. So anyways, okay guys. So these are all listed right now in my shop. Yeah, go check them out. And free shipping. Well, okay, shipping included. um, you'll notice the prices are a little weird. Like, how did she come up with that number? Well, it's because, I am factoring the cost of shipping into all my listings across the board, and the price of shipping is built into every item. So it's not like you're paying for shipping twice, 3 times, 4 times whenever you buy like 2 or 3 items. You're not paying for shipping 3 or 4 times. It's leveled out across the board. So, anyway, I hope that makes sense. It was like a 5% increase, which if you think about it, winds up actually being much less than you would be paying for actual shipping anyway, if I were to just add shipping onto your order, So a 5% increase in pricing on, a $10 item is 50 cents, right? So, that's a lot less than it would be if you bought a $10 item and I charged you shipping, because that would be $3.50. So anyways, just saying. Okay, guys, I love you. Have a great day. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.